The NFL draft is tomorrow, so let's take a look at some trade candidates who could be on the move during the draft. The Dolphins have already made it known that they're willing to trade Jalen Ramsey. Ever since leaving the Dolphins' final game, it's possible the Dolphins end up trading Tyreek. Ever since trading for DK Metcalf, it seems like the Steelers wouldn't mind moving off of George Pickens. Since Michael Penix took over as the starting quarterback, the Falcons been taking calls for Kirk Cousins. It seems like Jair Alexander's name's been on the trade market ever since the end of the season. Mark Andrews' name's been in trade rumors, and the Ravens GM didn't even guarantee that Mark Andrews would be on the team next season. The Eagles want to open up some cap space, and it seems like they've been taking calls for Dallas Goedert. It sounds like the Giants are going to be drafting Abdul Carter, so if that's the case, they're going to look to move off of Kayvon Thibodeau. The 49ers and George Kittle are still far apart in their contract negotiations, so it's possible we see him on the move. It sounds like the Niners are already regretting giving Brandon Ayuk that contract extension. I think they're trying to move off him. It doesn't sound like the Lions are going to have the money to pay Jameson Williams his extension, so it's possible they trade him. The Steelers and TJ Watt have apparently been far apart on their contract negotiations, so it's possible the Steelers may try and move TJ Watt. It sounds like the Bengals and Trey Hendrickson are still far apart on a new contract extension. He could be traded. The Jets have mentioned how they want to move towards a running back by committee, but Breece Hall is still a stud running back. He would probably benefit elsewhere. Travis Etienne had a horrible year last year. It's possible the Jaguars want to move off from him. Ever since drafting Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer's name's been brought up on the trade block. Since drafting Kyle Pitts, it just hasn't worked out for the Falcons. It's possible they move off him. The Seahawks have been taking calls for Sam Howell since bringing in Sam Darnold and Drew Lock. It's been known that the Raiders want a day 3 pick for Aiden O'Connell. Greg Newsome popped up on Schefter's trade candidate list. AJ Brown's name's been brought up in the trade market, but we'll see if anything happens. I've seen Chris Olave's name brought up in trade talks, but I'm not sure if the Saints would actually trade him. You never know with Brock Purdy. He needs a new contract extension. If there's a quarterback in the draft that the 49ers like, they wouldn't move off of Purdy. Titans are going to draft Cam Ward, so it's possible Will Levis may be on the move. Tyree Wilson was a name that popped up on Schefter's trade candidate list. Ben Johnson has already made it known he's going to draft some running backs in this year's draft class, and he's never been a huge fan of DeAndre Swift. Dafe Owe popped up on Schefter's trade candidate list. The Giants just never used Jalen Hyatt. He's still a young wide receiver. He could be on the move. Treylon Burks barely gets any playing time now. He could be on the move. Rashad White started to lose a lot of playing time to Bucky Irvin last season. It's possible he could be on the move and get a change of scenery. Kayshon Boutte's name's been brought up in trade discussions, and he was also on Schefter's trade candidate list. Former first rounder Evan Neal hasn't really worked out for the Giants. He could use a change of scenery. And it was recently made known public that the Seahawks are looking to move off of one of their running backs, whether it's Kenneth Walker or Zach Charbonnet.